This is my old Toshiba laptop, and I think you may have seen it before when I used it to play a YouTube video for when I was relacing a bicycle wheel. Now let's boot it up so I can play that same video again. This may take a while because this laptop is more than a decade old, and it currently runs Linux Mint version 19.3 XFCE, and I believe that is the latest 32-bit version that they made. This old processor here cannot really run 64-bit code, so I cannot run the latest and greatest Linux Mint version. And that's too bad, because I do like Linux Mint. Although I must say it is getting a bit bloated over the years for older hardware like this. Especially when you're running from an old spinning platter hard drive. Okay, now we have to wait till the Firefox icon shows up, and then I can start YouTube. I can hear lots of rattling noises. I wonder how well they will show up in the video. Come on. It should be around here. There it is. More rattling noises. And there's Firefox. And now I need to open a new tab. And there's the video I want. And now it should start, if there is internet. I think there is. Play. And now I can stop the time, and I can also stop the video. I will edit in the exact time that it took to boot up this laptop. Now let's benchmark the hard drive. That's a previous result, but I will run a new benchmark with the default settings. And now I have to enter in my password. You can see the graph here. It goes from the outside of the platter to the inside of the platter. And that's a big drop, and another big drop. Probably because the operating system is running from the same partition. Okay, that's a bit more than 30 megabytes per second read speed. And the write speed isn't tested, because as I already mentioned, the operating system is running from the same partition, and the average access time is about 16 milliseconds. Let's run that test again, see if I can get better results. Same settings. The read speeds are slightly better, and I think the access times are about the same. So now let's boot from this USB drive, so I can test the same partition without the operating system running from the same drive. So this is Linux Mint running from the USB flash drive, and I think it may have been booting up quicker than from the hard drive. Now let's do a little benchmarking again. I'm using the same settings, the default settings, but as you can see, this time it is also performing the write test. And that is actually better than I expected. And the write test is also a little bit better than when the operating system was running. 33.9 megabytes per second read, 28.5 megabytes write. And I think the average access time is about the same. Well, let's repeat this test just for consistency's sake. I think those results are more or less the same, so that's good. Now let's shut this down so I can install a solid state drive, and then I will do the same test again. Now I already installed Linux Mint on this solid state drive, so I will not bore you with that. I will say Toshiba did a pretty good job on this laptop. I haven't seen a laptop before that took so many little screws just to install a hard drive. A little caddy. And here's the old hard drive. And now I get to reassemble all those little screws. Now check this out. The little screws here on this cover are fixed, so you cannot really lose them. I think that's a nice touch. Alright, let's start this thing. Now I'm going to do the same test as before. Let's see how long it takes to start that Australian YouTube video. Let's give that girl a few more hits. She deserves it. Now I installed the exact same Linux version, Mint 19.3, plus all of the updates. Here's the desktop already. Now let's wait for the Firefox icon. There it is. I cannot hear any rattling noises, so that's good. And this is the video we want. And there it is. Let's start play. And stop it again. Now that was a lot quicker, and again I will edit in the exact time that it took to start that video. Now let's run the same benchmark test on this solid state drive. And that's a previous test that I run. The same default settings. And now I need to enter my password again. And for your information, the password is the same as before, but I'm not going to tell you. And the graph here is a lot flatter than with a spinning platter drive. So the average read speed is 128 megabytes per second, but check out that average access time. It's only half a millisecond. And I guess that will have a bigger impact than the faster read speed. Now let's repeat this test for consistency. So this default test is a bit quick, a little bit short. So let's make it a little bit longer. 1,000 samples should be enough. Start testing. That is a bit weird. Looks like some of the data must come from some sort of cache buffer. Okay, I've seen enough. This is taking too long. But it was a little bit slower than 128 megabytes per second. But still, it was a lot faster than that old spinning platter hard drive. Now let's boot from the USB drive again, so I can also test the write speed. The laptop is running again from the flash drive, so let's do a quick write test. And I will be using the same standard parameters for testing. The write speed here is a bit disappointing, but this drive is probably more than 10 years old now, and I guess newer models will be quicker. But overall this was a nice little upgrade for this old laptop. Well, I hope you liked my little test. There are probably millions of videos like this on the internet, but none of them is mine, and I prefer to make my own videos instead of watching someone else's. Anyway, have a great 2021, but please be careful with fireworks. Okay, that's 132 megabytes of average read speed, 13 megabytes of average write speed, and the access time is about a half a millisecond.